Morning, morning, folks, or morning, Martin. Just me and you this morning. Hope you're well. Sorry about yesterday. I was doing bits and pieces, getting close. Morning, Leon. Morning, Leon. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm starting to just input all the kind of stream. All gearing up towards the relaunch, which hopefully will be soon. Anyway, let's get into the market, shall we? Why don't we? I don't think I missed anything yesterday, to be honest with you. I did have a scan in the afternoon, but I think there was only one breakout retest that looked like it was potentially setting up, which didn't set up. There was the breakout retest I was looking today on ETH. Morning, Silver, mate. But this is obviously gone as well. So this is why I was talking about with crypto, Martin, is that I think ETH actually looks a little bit better than Bitcoin in terms of digestion from this move. So in terms of ready to move, I do think it's getting there. Or certainly with ETH, you could get a bit closer. But what we're seeing on this 4 hour is, maybe we continue for another leg, considering we've got this on the 4 hour. Potentially, remember, potentially. Considering we've got this on the 4 hour, you may be continuing with this corrective before my bias would still be before we move to the downside. But who knows with crypto? Who knows? So I just think maybe it's just almost ready to short, but not quite yet. So if we look at Bitcoin, for example, and remember, most will follow Bitcoin. If you look at this daily, although it does look okay, it doesn't look as nice as ETH, for example, right? Where we could use just a few more days back up into here before we continue. I mean, we think about what happened last time, right? Here, I mean, we had a little bit more there. It doesn't always have to happen. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get something like this before we drop down. We could do that. But certainly from a minimum point of view for me, yeah, I think a few more days would be my personal bias. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. Okay, markets today pushing on a little bit. Up to this 4 hour 200, or looks like it will test around that 4 hour 200. I think the best place is always a daily with this SPX, to be honest with you. Decent day a few days ago. Are we a little bit climactic, or are we getting some strength? I don't know if there's any real reason to buy this up or be confident in this continuing still, to be honest with you. It did do this previously, right? So we may be getting the same thing, but overall bias, unless we break these highs, unless we break this anchor, that would pose a little bit of a different picture. But maybe yesterday we're getting a little bit of loss of momentum from that decent bullish bar, whether this is a kind of a dead cat bounce, or not. We'll have to wait and see. But overall bias is going to be short, right? It has to be short. But there is some strength here. So we're currently kind of breaking through this previous support area, becoming resistance. But where it looks as if that maybe we're coming through it. So it's a little bit of a sit on the fence, I think, right now. Actually, the more that I think about it, the more that I look at, yes, okay, overall bias is down, but a little bit of strength here. So let's look for something that we saw previously where, where are we going to go? Are we going to kind of push on, or are we going to falter? The overall bias is falter, but I'm just going to say it's in pullback mode. That's the easiest thing for me to say. The most PG thing for me to say. It's in pullback. Looks a little bit better for movement to the upside on the smaller time frames. So watch for that on your currency pairs. In terms of that, maybe a little bit more risk on nature over the day. Dollar is still in this corrective. Overall bias, from a 4 hour perspective, you kind of wanted it to break through here. It's not done that, and we've seen that quite a lot. Never mind in just the dollar, and quite a few things where you're looking at this to break through, and it's not doing it yet. There's no follow through and continuation of that trend. But on this daily, it does look okay. On this daily, we're still in that corrective. So we're looking for, again, some volume coming in. We're looking for a reason to long this dollar. It's not giving me yet. Okay, we've had a very slight rejection. Sorry, let me zoom in. A very slight rejection here, but I mean, does that get you in? Is that your reason to buy the dollar on a potential 20 catch up? Not yet, not yet. So today will be interesting. Tomorrow will be interesting with this DXY or the remainder of the week, but it still is to the upside. But again, not got a reason to buy that dollar just yet. So let's see. Continued corrective is possibly still on the cards. Okay, watch this today. As I was saying with ETH, ETH was actually setting up quite nicely. You know, we had I particularly liked it on this 30-minute. Cut with handle, nice corrective, push through. We're in this steady state retest. I was looking for my catalyst. We did not get that catalyst, so now it is obviously not. I'm not taking the trade, essentially. But this was a nice retest. You know, this is what I want to see with my steady state. And ideally, what you either get is that inverted hammer or you get that bearish engulfer here coming on increased volume to get you in. So if we just look at the kind of range of these candles in price action back to that 20, that's for a steady state retest, that's exactly what you want to see. But unfortunately, again, no reason to enter that trade. I know you could say, well, you got a slight engulfer here, but it didn't come on volume, and it's not really something I would call a catalyst. So another one that you could say, well, avoided a losing trade because we waited for the correct things that we want, the correct analyst, the correct. I've forgotten the word. What's the word? The correct requirements for my strategy. Okay, breakouts. A few on this US dollar, which will obviously be dependent on if the dollar decides to get some strength or not. USD ZAR, looking for an aggressive entry somewhere in here. I still like it. Pull back from this latest impulse is getting to the point where it's digested. Need a RTE, reason to enter. If we don't get that and it does push up, then obviously looking for the breakout. So I'll go through all these quickly because they're still the same thing. USD Singapore I like, which I've talked about for a while. Again, we could be getting our ABC here. So we could be getting A, B, potential C. So volume and a catalyst to go in for an aggressive. I would like that. Overall trend is up. If we don't get that and price decides to push on, then obviously our V-reversal comes into play. Looking for a little bit of accumulation before we break to the upside on USD Singapore. Obviously, I would like an aggressive in both of them. I do like both of them. I like where they're at, but just need to be a wee bit more patient. Don't mind if this comes down. You know, the ideal scenario is we get retail stopped out here. We have our potential hammer bar on high volume. That as a C wave entry, that's perfect for me. So that would be ideal in USD Singapore. EU needs to show its hand today, or we're getting too much in this area, i.e. our secondary structure from our first. So, you know, this is all good. This is fine. We look to be within this channel. If it continues in this channel from my setup, obviously I can't take it. We can't have this area bigger than this. But yeah, it needs to show its hand today. So probably in terms of this, a reason to short it, very similar to everything else. Doesn't look like it wants to do it though. Then I don't know if it will. Certainly if we have a close above here, above that 200, you know, price action, if you're looking at it from a trend continuation point of view, you're expecting this trend to continue basically around here. Right, that's enough for me, but we've not done that. We've rejected, and we've seen that a few times where things aren't following through. So I wouldn't be surprised if EU pushed on up. Wouldn't be surprised. But in terms of a daily, there's a long time to go before that daily closes. And if we do get some strength in that dollar, looking for a daily catalyst today, I would look at taking that tomorrow. Aussie dollar and Kiwi dollar are still setting up again, looking at potential aggressives, potential breakouts on this as well, essentially digesting this move to the downside. Aussie dollar, very similar to Kiwi dollar in its context, in its price action. I don't think we get an aggressive, but again, it's another one that could be an ABC. It could be an ABC, that rhymes. And with where the stock market is, yeah, you could see that. So if we think about what happened previously with that SPX, kind of a climactic, this and then fall off, if we're getting that, this fall off, then maybe these could be the Kiwi dollar, the Aussie dollar could be good entries. I mean, obviously you're expecting the dollar to be strong in this scenario as it's been acting as that risk-off asset. Flight to cash, etc. And you'd expect those commodities to be weaker, certainly Aussie and Kiwi. So if we get that, which coincides with this, that would be quite a nice entries on Aussie dollar and Kiwi dollar. So let's see. Kiwi yen, New Zealand yen to the upside is still looking at it. I'll be very surprised if I don't get one of these breakouts. So we've got one in here. We could look at this as an AB shallow C. We could look at this as secondary structure, potential third structure. There's no aggressive in here. I don't think price action is constituting towards an aggressive right now, unless we potentially get that. But I think I would be more comfortable with how price action looks just here. It would be different if we got, you know, maybe something like this, you know, where you're looking at aggressive up in here or you're looking at aggressive here. Just because of the kind of impulsive nature of this, I'd rather wait for a squeeze. Ideally, you'd rather wait for something like this, you know, to get in, to digest this latest move to break out to the upside. And, you know, we're not quite there yet on this daily, but something I'm still going to look at, Kiwi yen to the upside. The yen weakness, again, do I understand it? Do I like it? No, but you've got to go with it. You've got to go with it right now. USD, no, I wasn't looking at USD yen. Oh, USD yen, there you go, Martin. So, yeah, the reason why when you, this is with your confluence, right? And I'm not saying that this can't go down, by the way, because we've not broken this inverted hammer. So if you were looking short, if I was looking short, I'd say, well, there's a slight little bit of confluence for a short trade there on the weekly chart. I just worried about the daily and I just worried about that yen weakness, you know, and for me, this cup with handle wasn't quite clean enough. So it's valid. Don't get me wrong. It's valid. It is valid. There was just something I didn't like about it, you know. There was just something my gut was telling me that this yen weakness would continue. I don't know. What did I say? I can't even remember what I said yesterday. Doesn't look very clean. I would personally leave. Yeah, I just think it's in terms of a counter trend, you probably want a little bit. Yeah, you probably. But saying that, I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. You probably wouldn't have been triggered in, right? So if you had your order, let's say you had your order here, you might not have been triggered in, or maybe you would have. But it's pushed on anyway. It's power of the trend, right? So I think, obviously now it's, well, with any kind of strategy, you prefer to go to the trend. And there was just something about UJ shorts I just didn't like. Anyway, you didn't take it, which is a good thing. Gold I was looking at. Gold shorts. On this daily, still coming down, still setting up nicely, still pretty clean. Moving averages are still in a good place. The gap up was sold into yesterday on gold. You can see it here, you know. So we're getting negative price action or bearish price action. The bulls aren't winning. The bears seem to be potentially taking control. Like to see this area tested yet again. Wee bit of accumulation here. Potentially something on the 4 hour we can look at as well if it sets up on smaller time frames. But gold shorts is still on the list. Aussie Singapore and Euro Yen are the last one. So Aussie Singapore, I have to take this off the 4 hour because of, I mean, the fact that this digestive or this now third structure is kind of larger than our second, which is a shame. You know, again, very similar. We've seen this a few times. You're just looking for that follow through and that break, but we're not getting it here. So I'm going to have to flip, even though I do like it, I'm going to flip this to the daily and look for that 20 catch up on the daily here, considering this as 1 and potential 2 here, accumulation before a breakout to the downside on Aussie Singapore. My gut likes that one. But I mean, it's pushing on this morning, but my gut really liked that one. But just, again, no follow through, no momentum. Let's see how it sets up. And finally, the Euro Yen. Euro Yen going with the trend. Initial basing structure here. I would like this to get up, right? I would like this to get up. If not, and we're considering this B wave, B here, we can look at potential C wave aggressives, i.e. digesting this impulse to the upside. An ABC pullback for me is still okay, right, to here. Thinking about that 70-30 rule. So if we get something at C wave, a potential shallow C wave to move up, I would like that in Euro Yen. And I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to go with that technical trend. I think the daily looks quite nice. Here, you can see the pattern that we're getting into on this daily. The 20 period is there. We've had a nice context down here with that impulse, harder reset. 1, 2, breakthrough, impulse, pull back, push on, back to 20. It's all nice. It's all nice. But sadly, the yen doesn't. Sadly, the yen still. I don't get it, but I have to go with it. I have to go with it. So Euro Yen potential longs and potential aggressive. So loads to look for. And as I said, I'll be disappointed if I don't get one of these trades that I've been looking at for a while. But sometimes that's trading. Sometimes that's trading. Right, anything you guys want me to look at? Silver, Martin. Oh, you did send, sorry, Martin. You sent your NZD CAD, right? NZD CAD, yeah, I was saying I liked NZD CAD. I had a quick look at it. I mean, obviously, I certainly like the bias. Oil's having a little bit of a push. So you can look at this from a daily perspective. Firstly, you're going with momentum. He's had this kind of climactic sold into, right? Not a great break. You could potentially call this a fake. Push on, and then, you know, retail potentially stopped out, we go down, or you just make it very simple and say this is a lower low. What's that for? You know, a lower low in terms of Dow theory, lower high, and we continue with this trend, right? But I think it kind of it's nicer on that 4 hour, because when I was looking, you're looking at this, right? You're looking at recent price action here. MAs are in a good position. Nice little, not a breakout for me, but from a structure wise, it's good, right? Head and shoulders in here, breaking through this area. Like I said, close to the 20. It's kind of broken. You're looking for it to get down to the lows. I like that idea. I can't trade it, obviously, but yeah, I like that idea. Where's your stop? So it was a 4 hour trade, so you're looking at that down there, yeah? Yeah, like it. I would rather be short in it than long in it, that's for sure. What else? You asked me about something. Yeah, it's quite nice, huh? Just in that little bit in there. And then even if you dive in a little bit deeper, right here, this is good, right? Here, push on. Gap filled and pushing down. So, I mean, you could get a little bit here. I mean, there's a few minor areas, but listen, as an overall premise, recent price action, yeah, agree with it. Agree with it. What else? There was something else. Swiss yen 1 hour up. CAD yen 4 hours. So the CAD yen, I'll do Swiss yen as well, silver. So CAD yen, I've got my area. I just didn't put it on the watches yet because I've got quite a lot on, but I would need this to come back in here. You know, if you're creating your V reversal, I know yours is slightly different, but this was the area I was talking about yesterday. So, you know, from a daily perspective, yen weakness, it's actually all right. You're going with that larger trend. Yes, there is still the possibility of this being B wave. You can get slight little stop out and then move back down, because we know what markets are like when there's not that rate of follow through that we're seeing. So if this comes down for me and then goes, then yeah, there's a variety of options there of an aggressive, of a breakout and a breakout retest, because I like where it is. Again, you look at the 4 hour, right? We know it's on this 4 hour. That's a lovely that's a lovely trend to the upside right in there. And then you've got that digestive period. You know, we've come back, we've corrected, pushed on, created a high, come back, created our V reversal. And if I get something like this, that for me would be really nice. And I would certainly look at longing it, yeah. Certainly. Swiss yen, 1 hour up. Swiss yen. Yeah, I thought about this as well, Silver. I thought about this as well. I think what put me off was maybe I was being pernickety with this area, you know, because if you're looking at this, then this, ideal, right? Maybe I'm being pernickety. Four hour daily. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Silver. Maybe I've taken my area at the wrong place. Breakout retest. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't say no to that. You cannot say no to that. You're going with the trend. Yeah, is there a possibility that it's losing momentum? Well, not really, because you're not. We've not breached through here. You've kind of got your loss of momentum there, and we're now correcting and kind of digesting through time rather than through price here. So, you know, and the important factor is you're not breaking through the highs. You know, if you got like this is what we normally don't like to see. You know, when you're creating very small or higher highs, but you're not getting that. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch that actually. I'm gonna watch that. Let me just breakout retest. You got the closes here. Maybe I was. I'll put my level in there properly. Hey, I'm gonna watch it. I'll add it to my list. There's no harm in watching it. Swiss yen long, my favorite pair, right? Swiss yen long, 30-minute, 1 hour. Cut with handle trend. My bones on the body, yeah. I think I had that area marked in the other day, and I probably didn't come back and check it properly. But if you're looking at it like that, it's nice, right? It's nice. Basing structure, secondary structure, third structure, breakout, retest, continuation up. 4 hour. I'm not gonna pretend the 4 hours perfect. I'm not going to pretend that the higher time frames are perfect, because you worry about, are we buying it here? You know, are we buying it up here before the corrective? That's the worry. But it's an argument for the trade. Absolute argument for the trade. But we need a breakout retest first, right? So we can just wait for that breakout retest. If it doesn't come, then it doesn't come. We don't trade it. Yeah. Everything's bloody extended right now. It's frustrating. You know. Frustrating, some of these pairs that you're trying to get involved in. Like, you know, the more time goes on with ones that you really like for example, EU and USD ZAR and USD Sing. You know, you're thinking, am I even gonna get that? Are we gonna come off? And, you know, you look at these smaller time frames here and you're seeing these kind of head and shoulders. You're looking at this coming down, which okay, it's fair enough. It's fine. You can look for an added entry, you know, over the course of the week. But finding a trade has been difficult. You know, and here, like USD ZAR is another one. How many times, you know, how often are we seeing this right now, where you're looking at it, you know, in nice markets, this is following through. You know, not all the time, but a lot of the times this is falling through, and we're just getting this fall off. We're seeing it in a lot of pairs. Anyway, EuroCAD 4 hour down. EuroCAD. EuroCAD 4 hour here. Yeah, can see what you're looking at. Maybe a little bit of a 20 catch up, but it's not breached these highs. Kind of looks similar to what the SPX looked like, right? What was it, 2 weeks ago, when you're thinking from here push on, but we know what the euro's like. We know what the euro's like. That is a little bit of a worry though, that weekly. But it could be this. Look, I think the 4 hour, you've got your argument there. The 200 may be an issue, but if you're looking for a little bit of accumulation, I can see it. I would worry about the weekly, but we know the euro characteristics, right? We know the euro loves to do this, but it's usually immediately sold into. So if we look at it now, are we being immediately sold into? That would be my worry about it. But ultimately, the trend is still there. Trend is still there. Yeah. Look, there's the absolute argument for it. Absolute argument for it. And if you like it, then you like it. That's perfect. That's all that matters. That's all that matters, my friend. I do like Swiss yen, actually, thinking about it more and more. It's just that, it's just that daily. Anyway, we don't want to force anything. Let's see. No worries, mate. All right, guys, anything else you want me to look at? Leon, any queries? Your side? Are you all okay? Martin, when are you off on holiday? I think when you said you're going to Argentina, right? Argentina. One more time. You all good? Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, in my humble opinion, I think we get a wee bit more, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it fell, right? I wouldn't be surprised if it fell. I just think with what I'm seeing on most of the crypto charts, I think maybe we get another leg of a corrective, right? Another leg here, maybe, before we do that. That would be my personal analysis, just because of what I'm seeing here on the 4 hour and a few of the 4 hours on the daily in terms of Bitcoin, where, maybe it just needs one more leg to digest this latest move. That would be my personal analysis. But if you're looking for kind of confirmation, here would be my confirmation. This area would be key for me for shorts. So I'm not going to rule that out, because path of least resistance is down. We're getting it always sold into. But yeah, I think another leg and then break down. If it doesn't do that, a break and close underneath here would be a good confirmation. Let's see. Next week, gone for 2 weeks. You lucky lad. I wish I was going on holiday. Need to plan my trip to Spain. Anyway. All right, guys. I'll see you all in the morning. Remember to trade safe. And have a nice day. Peace.